Okay, so I don't want to make this a super long video because I know my last video was like 50 minutes. And I don't know, I guess I'm just comfortable with this camera that once I start talking, I just talk. But I just really wanted to get on here and just, oh my gosh, just talk about how God is just so good and just give him my praises publicly. November was one of the hardest months of this year for me. Of course, mainly relating to, finances and my job and things like that. So, it was a lot of crying. It was a lot of being angry. It was a lot of being mean. And, I just wasn't always the best version of myself this past month. As I mentioned, a couple videos ago, like I've been out of college for 6 months and, 7 tomorrow. And, like post-grad life has not looked anything like how I thought it would be. I never imagined that it would be this hard trying to find a job in my career field, much less just a better job in general. So yeah, just been having a lot of feelings, especially as my money just has really been running out. Or I don't even want to say running out, it has ran out. But just November, starting out the month was just rough because I knew my brakes needed some work done to them because I was feeling vibration and I was hearing squealing, when I would stop. So I made the appointment. I asked the lady how much it would cost. She said like 2 something, I guess assuming that only my front brakes, my front brake pads and rotors rather would need to be replaced. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So I get to the dealership and you know how they do the inspection before like they do any work, like the whole brake system needed work done. Like what was in the red was the rear brake pads and rotors, and then the fuel system. I actually paid for that, which I shouldn't have, but I can say that I've noticed my car has been like a little smoother since. So I guess it wasn't a total waste of money. But then like in the yellow was like brake fluid and the front brake pads and rotors, and then something else I can't remember. But all of that all together was like $900. I don't have that kind of money. And anybody who knows me personally knows I don't play when it comes to my car. Especially since quite literally, like, I use my car as the base for my other YouTube channel. So I need my car to be in tip-top shape. So I just had to do what I could, which was I did what was in the red. And, I haven't been able to get to the yellow yet. But I'm just thankful that I was able to do what I could. And, I still feel that my brakes aren't 100%. So, I'm praying that I can take care of it in December. But the significance of that is that, like I said, I use my car for my other channel because I do like driving videos and stuff like that. So I was supposed to go to Columbus like the next day. And I'm not gonna lie, all of that stuff or all that money I had to shell out, I only did like half of what needed to be done, and that was still like $500. Mind you, I had gotten paid that same day. So, I paid that and then something else. I had to pay something else. Oh, I think like my utilities or something like that. So my check was gone. So I was like, but I don't feel like going to Columbus. Like I'm not in the mood. I don't want to go. But then I was like, well, why would I not? I go to this job that I hate 5 days a week. Why would I not put that time in for myself? I don't have $1 million, so I may not be able to eat where I want to or whatever, but I got enough money for gas and I got enough money to, go to like Chili's or something, so I went down to Columbus and, it wasn't perfect when I went down there because, when I was making my video, I used the same thing that I used for this, the suction cup mount. it wasn't tightened all the way. So as I was driving, it had like, it didn't fall down, but like my phone moved. So that happened a couple times during the video. Then there was like really bad traffic because there was an event. So, you know, it was just like, oh my gosh, like I done came all the way down here for this. But I pushed through, and I'm just saying this because, you know, my other channel, I don't really care about this channel, but my other channel, that's something that I'm really like trying to like make a brand off of, make a name for myself off of, because that's really more in line with my passion. And I've just been noticing, especially this month, because I've done like 3 separate trips outside of Atlanta this month, and something has happened every time, like to try to make me be like, oh, I'm just gonna abort the mission. Like I'm not doing it no more. So, you know, with Columbus, you know, not having any money because like I spent like $700 in 24 hours. I was in Macon last weekend. Really didn't have any money for that. But again, now the thing was tightened, but then my suction cup mount, I guess because my windshield is dirty, it actually was falling down, and it just kept falling down to the point that I just had to pull over and try to, you know, figure it out, and it just still wasn't working. So I had to like shorten that video. But I still persevered. And then the other videos that I made outside of that came out wonderfully, because I found out a little hack on how to get this thing to stick. And then for Thanksgiving, I went to Augusta to go see my uncle. And, you know, I filmed the drive there. And, oh, excuse me. That was not gentlemanlike. Yeah, I filmed the drive there. Everything was cool. But then there was like this really bad accident literally right before the exit. That I was supposed to get off for his house. And it was bad. Like I was stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes. And it was like to the point where I was like, man, I'm about to just stop recording because I don't want this to be going on and on and on. And then it's just like, we just not moving it. Finally, I made it to the end and I was able to get the video that I wanted. And I watched this video this morning before I got out of bed, and it was about like, it was talking about like, you know, you're not lazy, you're just under spiritual attack. And I really do feel like I am under spiritual attack because there's just so many things that I am actively trying to do to better myself. And, you know, of course, the enemy doesn't want you to get closer to God's promises for you in your life. So, you know, he's going to do everything in his power to stop you. And I definitely have just felt like that battle this past month because there were just so many times where I just really wanted to say, just forget it. I'm done. I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of praying. I'm tired of, you know, asking God to do all these things, and I just don't feel like he's here. I don't feel like he's listening to me. There were so many times that I just really wanted to, I would never turn my back on God, but there were just so many times that I just wanted to be like, you know what? I don't feel like talking to God today. Or you know what? I don't feel like, you know, spending time, like whatever. And this is just me being honest, you know, in my walk, you know, of course I strive to be closer to God every day, but you know, it's not an easy journey by any means. Yeah, like my finances this month have just not been in an optimal state at all. I have never really worried about my bills the way that I have this month. You know, I had to postpone my phone bill. I had to postpone my car insurance. In which I'm no stranger to doing that, but it was like, even in this month, postponing it just still wasn't enough because it was like, I still didn't have like the money, you know, because I had like my big bills at the end of the month, you know, because I postponed everything. So I had my rent, I had my phone bill, I had my car insurance, and then my student loans. And this check that I just got last week, it just wasn't checking. You know, like the money just was not adding up. I had all these expenses and then this amount of money to, you know, so I definitely have just been really stressed. And like, I came home from work Wednesday and I just broke down crying. Like, I'm somebody, I try to keep it together. I hate crying, and I guess it's because of my upbringing. Boys aren't supposed to cry, but I haven't cried like that in a minute. Like, just I took my uniform off and I just got on my knees and I just broke down crying. And because I've never been so worried about being late on stuff, because I'm sure every adult has been late on bills before, but it's like once you get into that hole, it is so hard to get out of that, and especially when if it's a bill that affects your credit. So the student loans, like I would never want to be late on that, or like my car note or whatever, because I have worked so hard to get my credit to where it is. And I would just be completely devastated if, you know, my credit score tanked, especially in this time that we're living in, where credit, I think, is really going to be even more important, more than ever. But I cried and I prayed, and I just was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna have to be late on my student loans, because you can't drive without car insurance. I mean, I know some people who have done that before, but I'm not that bold. I need a phone. Um, so I was just like, okay, and then my rent, gotta pay rent, gotta have a roof over my head. So I was like, I mean, the student loan, I'm just gonna have to do that when I get to it. And I just prayed. I was like, I prayed twice that day. I prayed when I got home, and then I always pray at night as I'm winding down. So like when I broke down crying, I just prayed, Lord, I got 4 days off, because of Thanksgiving. I was like, I just want to enjoy these 4 days. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to be happy that I don't have to work. So, and then my dad called me maybe like less than an hour after that, and we were talking, and he I just remember him talking to me about wisdom and like praying for that. So I've just been praying for that, for the past few days. And especially when it comes to finances, I just been praying like, well, when I get money, I just pray, Lord, that you give me the wisdom and the sound mind to make the right financial decisions. So I prayed, like I said, I've been praying for that. So my mom, she always sends me money whenever she gets paid. So she sent me money on Friday. So I was like, okay. I mean, I'm still gonna have to be late on my student loan, but at least like, okay, well, I have money, just like for food or gas or whatever. So then yesterday I had laid down and I took a nap. And when I woke up, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, you know what? Stop playing with this car insurance and find somewhere that's cheaper, because I was paying almost $300 a month with Geico, and that is ridiculous. I'm not gonna say that I'm the best driver. Well, I am the best driver out here, but I had been with Geico for almost 5 years, and that they're talking about the rate that they were giving me was the best that they could do. And I'm just like, wow. So, I just been doing research. So I had looked on Erie, and then it took me to this website. I guess it was like to compare auto insurance policies or whatever. So it did Progressive, which I always thought was like the ops, just because when I was in an accident, the guy who hit me, he had Progressive, and then Progressive basically gave me their behind the kiss. So I just have never really been fond of Progressive since then. But I guess now that I'm older, I mean, like, why would they take care of me? Because I wasn't their customer. But anyways, so surely enough, Progressive had the best rate. And I was like, well, whatever grudge I'm holding against them, I am going to let it go, because I'm not gonna, miss out on this amazing rates. Even with like me adding additional coverages, so to make sure that I have like the same comparable coverage that I had with Geico, like my rate still, I'm saving like $115 a month, versus what I was paying Geico. And the wheels just started spinning, because I was like, wait a minute, okay, I can pay this, and then I'll have just enough money left over between like what I have left on my credit card and then my my regular bank account to pay my student loans. So I have this thing against making like multiple big purchases in a day, so I put the auto policy on my credit card. And then, I prayed last night, and I just said, Lord, I just pray that, I have enough money to pay my student loans, because like it's two separate, these are private loans, by the way. I don't have to pay the federal ones yet. So I have like two separate loans I have to pay, and I know I need to consolidate them, which I will get around to doing that very soon. But I just prayed that I had enough money between the two accounts to pay my loans, and I just was gonna let it be. So I woke up. Well, I've been having like a hard time sleeping, because I just keep waking up because it's cold, and my roommates, they're. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. But my roommates, they like to mess with the thermostat. So, there were some points of the night where I was cold, so I couldn't really sleep. And I woke up, I want to say it was maybe about like 8 o'clock or right before 8 o'clock. And I heard the Cash App sound. I was like, hold on, let me just make sure I'm not dreaming. And sure enough, it had my mom's name, and she sent me more money. She sent me $155 on top of the $130 that she sent me on Friday. And I just couldn't believe it. So I went to the bathroom, and like I just was like just staring at myself in the mirror. I was like, hold on. And I went back to my room, and she called me, and she was like, hey, did you get the money that I just sent you? And I was like, yeah, I did. Thank you so much. And like tears just kind of started flowing down my eye, because, I really don't want to have to use my credit card because I don't have a lot on it. But I was willing to, split my student loans between what I have left in my bank account and then my credit card, just so it's paid. And my mom sending me that money, I was able to pay those loans on just my debit card. And it's not late. Like, it was due today, the 1st. And I am looking into getting forbearance for the loans, because my lender does offer forbearance, but you have to make 2 consecutive payments to qualify for it. So now that I'm hoping that they will grant me the forbearance, and then that'll help me be able to, create a budget for myself. I already have a plan, as far as what I want to do, as far as like, getting a job and things like that. But, I just need the finances to follow that as well. And I'm just so grateful and thankful to God that he has really been hearing my prayers, because as I said earlier, something that's very important to me is that, I don't want to go late on anything. Or at the very least, not anything that affects my credit. And I think if there's anything that I have been learning through this process of just not having a lot of money, it's that it's okay to like literally only have $20 in your account, because as long as everything that needs to be paid is paid, hey, God will supply your needs. And I am a living testimony You know, I may not be eating like a king. I may not be eating, you know, grand meals every night, but, you know, I am eating. I have gas in my car and enough gas for me to be able to do my trips for my other channel. I have a roof over my head. I hate my job, but at least I have one. You know, the job market is terrible. So to have a job, it is a blessing. And I just pray that better is on the way. Um, you know, I have life every single day. God is putting, you know, fresh air into my lungs, and he's opening my eyes. You know, there's just so many things to be grateful for. And of course, you know, I do want better for myself, and I want, you know, way more than what I have now. But I just think that it's important to put everything into perspective and to just be appreciative of what you have now, because there's always somebody out here who has it worse than you. And of course, we're consumed in our worlds. So it seems like, you know, oh, well, nobody understands, or, you know, all these things are happening to me, da 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 da. But, you know, count your blessings. Seriously. If you have any of the aforementioned things that I just mentioned, and I'm not even talking about the material things, I'm just talking about having a roof over your head and clothes on your back and, you know, water, and I don't know if I said food to eat, but, you know, like the necessities. As long as you have that, you know, God will take care of the rest. And I just could not make a video just expressing my gratitude. And I honestly don't care if nobody watches this video, but I just hope that this video reaches whoever it needs to reach. And if you are going through a hard time, I will pray for you. And I just want people to believe that, you know, there is a God up there, and he does care about you, and he listens to you. And, you know, he is always an on time God. You know, you may hear everybody say it, but it's true. He may not come when you want him, but he is always on time. Just look at the story I just shared with you about my student loans. I did not expect my mom to send me any more money. And she'd actually just text her actually, and like go into detail. I already told her thank you, but I just need to go into detail and just really let her know how much she really helped me out. So I just feel so much lighter today. And I go back to work tomorrow, and I just pray that, you know, it's a good week. But I hope this message finds somebody. And I don't know when I'll make another video or what it'll be about, but I do want to make more content. So stay tuned.